Hey everybody, how you doing? Sorry I haven't made a video in a while, just been super busy, and yeah, cool, so let's get down to business. No. I can go ahead and tell you that this video is probably going to be pretty long, just fair warning. And first things first, this is a part that I hate about, doing what I'm doing right now. But as many of you know, financially, living in London, it's the most expensive city to live in, and you all have been great in helping me this far and getting me over here. And the family I'm staying with has been so gracious in how much they're charging me for rent and everything. It's been really awesome. But transportation is not so kind. Right now, I'm having to pay about $88 a week for transportation. So I am applying for a discount card, but still it's going to be about $60 a week. I can get like a monthly travel card, which may cut off like 10 to 20%, but it's still a big chunk of money. And and I mean, I worked hard, and I did save up a lot, and so I know that I'll be okay. But yeah, and for those of you that don't know, my best friend that I grew up with, started dance with, known her since we were 4 years old. She is getting married in March, and so I am supposed to be a bridesmaid in her wedding. And yeah, that's just something that's very important to me. But it's hard financially, because that was not, it wasn't in my budget when I was planning. So, yeah. So of course, you guys are probably so tired of me asking for support and for money. But I promise after this year, it won't happen again. Well, at least for a few years. Just kidding. But yeah, so if any of you were interested in being monthly supporters, please let me know, and you can just give the money to mom and dad back home, and they can just deposit it right into my account. And yeah, just any little bit will help out, because I can't work while I'm over here because I just have a charity visa. I am able to babysit, and so I had my first babysitting job on Thursday night, and so I got like 30 pounds for that, and I was just like, oh my gosh, money. But yeah, I mean, I'm so busy that it's hard, and I don't know a lot of people yet, so it's just making the connections and that kind of thing. So if you guys could just pray that, yeah, that something will come through for me able to continue to keep getting more babysitting opportunities. The family that I babysat for, the kids were just so awesome. We had so much fun, and I think the fact that I'm an American helps me out a little bit. First time I can say that, I guess. So yeah, they were so fun. They just didn't have enough time to show me everything, all their games and instruments that they can play and all the stuff that they can do, and so we just had a fun time during reading before they went to bed. So we're reading the story, and I love accents and different voices, so it's about this dog that like gets kidnapped or whatever. So when it comes to the dog, I had this they wanted me to do a deep southern kind of accent because they had actually been to Georgia before. And so I did my southern accent, deep and low, for the dog, and then each of them were like, oh, I want to read now. And the little boy was doing like this Australian Irish accent. It was hilarious. And then the little girl, she couldn't do an accent. So then her reading, the tone and I don't know, it turned into sounding like she was rapping while she was reading. It was like, and then he went down the hill, and then he got caught, and da 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 da, and I was like, oh, and started like beatboxing, and the little boy was trying to like join in and doing the whole like boots and cats thing. It was so funny. it was a lot of fun. So yeah, just pray that more job opportunities like that open up, because that's pretty much all I can do to raise money while I'm over here. So yeah, so let's see. This week was good. A lot happened. I don't know where to start, but well, Thursday was a big deal because getting to babysit. I was just like so excited. I was like, I get to work and play with kids. And so I guess I can tell you guys this. Our street teacher has his own company. It's like hip hop / contemporary. And I just really enjoy his classes because he just really, it's more of like what I was used to back home, where they just like push you like crazy, and you just feel so strong after his class. So yeah, so let's see, last Friday was the audition for his company, but I couldn't make it because we went salsa dancing for the girl's birthday, and I didn't want to miss, her birthday celebration. So, because I was just going to go to the audition just for the experience. So, I didn't get to go. And I told him, I was like, well, I'll try to come, and then, so then this week, he like messaged me or came up to me after class and was like, Chrissy, we're having a re-audition. I really want you to come. Can you make it this Friday? And I was like, oh, yeah, I think so. So Thursday night after babysitting, I stayed in more of central London with a friend, and then hung out all Friday. Like, I went to the studio, worked on some choreography, and I had like my huge hiking backpack because I had to have like babysitting stuff and dance stuff and like everything, so it was so heavy. I'm just like, it was a moment where I was like, I just really want my car right now, so I can just toss this thing in my car and have somewhere to just lay down. But because I like went to the studio, and then I sat in the library, and I was just waiting for 7 p.m. to come. And but I went and hung out because one of the girls from Elevate was going to go to the audition with me. And so I went and hung out at her place for a little bit until we left. And so yeah, so I got asked to go to the audition, and I went, and it was 3 hours long, and it was, I've never sweated so much, I don't think. I like went down to stretch like halfway through. I went into like a lunge, and literally like it was like a waterfall just came like down and just poured out onto the floor in front of me, and I'm just looking at this little pool of sweat that has just come off of me. My shirt feels like I just pulled it out of the washing machine. No, not even the washing machine, because even that, it can feel like you wouldn't be able to twist it and water came out. No, it feels like I just put it under the sink and then decided to put it on, and it's just drenched. It is soaking wet. And oh my gosh, like I slicked my hair back and it looked like I just gotten out of the pool. And and the routine was so fast. Oh my gosh, it was so fast. But it was so much fun, and everybody in this company is just so, it was so, they were just lovely. They were just wonderful. So nice. A few of them have done Elevate in the past, so we got to talk to them about the program and their experience with it, and they were so excited that we were doing it. And yeah, just wonderful, wonderful people. Just these Christian, like, people that are just dancing hip-hop and can do it and just killing it. And so there was like a hip-hop section, and so of course that was really hard for me, but I love the challenge because I hate going in, sometimes contemporary classes you get in there and it's just like, okay, this is the same stuff. Like, I literally could stand there, look at the teacher, and then just do it. I don't feel like I need to like mark it and like pay attention. It doesn't make my brain, I don't have to like use my brain, and I hate that. So so yeah, it really pushed me and it really challenged me, and to like hear the music differently, to try to find those beats and everything. So it was so good. And then there was like a contemporary portion of the audition as well, and so finally I was like, okay, I can breathe a little bit and feel a little bit more confident. And and it was good. He had some cool like flips and stuff in there that I was trying to do that I'd never seen before, so it was a lot of fun. So yeah, it was just a great, just awesome experience, and so I find out like between Monday and Wednesday if I like made it in, because he also wants to like, you know, if they decide like, he was saying, you know, if you get chosen, then he's like, I want to also have like a meeting with you and just hear your heart, hear, you know, about your relationship with God, hear about, you know, what you know, why you think this company is right for you, or, you know, if you don't feel like it's the right time, then that's fine. So just such encouraging people, and such amazing hearts for the Lord, and just striving for excellence for the Lord through dance. Yeah, and they work so hard. So, and like the rehearsals are on Friday evenings, which are like the only evening I have free during the week. So like it would work out, but at the same time, it's like if I want a babysitting job, then not having Friday nights free is hard, and kind of could make that a challenge. And also the rehearsals are about 2 hours away from here, so there's a lot that goes into it, even if I make it in, so we'll see. But it would be a really cool experience if I got to do it, because they're really awesome dancers, and I feel like I would really learn a lot. So yeah, apparently I guess I'm better at street than I thought I was, so it was fun. And then, oh, okay, so this is kind of a scary but turned out good, cool kind of story. Tuesday, so everybody has now gotten sick since I was sick, and I feel terrible, but I mean, they're like, no, Chrissy, it was inevitable, and I'm like, I know, but I was the first one, I feel like I started it. But anyway, so Hannah, the girl that I live with, she got really sick this week, and so Tuesday, I didn't have my travel buddy, so I went in by myself, and then, I mean, that meant I had to come home by myself. So it was late at night, taking 3 different buses home. I mean, it wasn't that late, it was around like 8 or 9 o'clock, which is fine, like I've done it before and it was no problem. So, but yeah, so I was already kind of having a rough day because I was finding out about the crazy government back home, and I was just like, just kind of in this, like, daze, kind of like, how is that possible to close down the government? And I was just like, it was just weird, you know, to hear it on the news here, and like, yeah, and not be there. So I was already kind of in this like weird, like, what's going on kind of state. And I had been praying a lot, because I'm here, and like back home I can talk to anybody. I can just, you know, in Cartersville or wherever, like standing in line for groceries, or just walking up to somebody at the park, like just talk to them and share Jesus with them, no problem. But here, you know, I'm not as comfortable, and all that kind of stuff. So I just been praying, like, Lord, like, I was so just, when I was home and comfortable, like, I could just go up and talk to anybody, but now, like, I'm not doing that as much, and I think it's because I would be tired because of dance, and so it would either be like early in the morning when the train is like packed, or like late at night where you're just tired and exhausted. And so yeah, so I get on the bus. Hello, did you want to say hello?
Hi.
This is Lily. I'm just making a video for everybody back home. What's up?
Okay.
Okay. I like your earrings.
Thanks.
Did you hang out with your friends?
Yeah, I went quite in.
Fun. And you're alive, that's good. I'm telling them my bus story. Would you like to hear it?
Okay.
About this person I met on the bus?
Yeah.
Okay, alright, so I'm gonna look at the camera, and because that'd be awkward if I just looked at you the whole time. So, Hannah was sick Tuesday night, so I had to come home by myself, which I've done before, but this night was a little different. So, this is weird looking at the camera and you're there. So, it gets to my second bus, and I'm gonna look back and forth, I'm sorry. And, or you can just sit here with me, there we go. So it gets to my second bus, and I'm waiting at the bus stop, and then I get on the bus, and there's this group of, like, probably mid-20s age, like a group of guys that get on, and they're kind of loud and obnoxious, so I just sit on the bottom floor of the bus, and then they start going to the top, and I was like, okay, I'm good, you know, they'll just be loud and rowdy upstairs. Well, then one of them saw me and just comes over and like stands next to me, and I had my bag and seat next to me, and there were plenty of other open seats, but he was not moving until I moved my bag for him to sit in that seat next to me. And so immediately, like, you know, I get really nervous and my heart starts racing. That's very natural. And like when you're in this city area and it's late at night. So I like move my bag, and he's sitting there and he's like trying to act all cool, and he's like, so I saw you at the bus stop. And I literally just looked at him and was just like, okay, like, that, okay. And so thankfully I'm a pretty decent actress, and I was just telling myself, like, okay, just channel like all your acting lessons, just act cool, everything's fine, just act confident, you're good, you're gonna be fine. And of course inside I'm like screaming and just like, oh my gosh, like, please just don't, why are you sitting next to me? And I look a mess because my hair's like atrocious, I have no makeup on, and so he's trying to make like small talk or whatever, like asking me where I'm from and all this kind of stuff. And I was like, okay, here's the trick. If I bring up religion, he will either just leave, or it could turn out to be a really good, deep conversation. So he asked me what I did, and I was like, oh, well, I'm doing an apprenticeship with a Christian dance company here called Springs. Made sure to put that Christian in there. And I was like, what do you do? And right away he was like, oh, well, I'm a Muslim. And I was like, that's great. What do you do for a living? And I couldn't understand him. He was talking really quietly or whatever, but I could tell he was very trying to show like dominance when he was talking, like, you know, had good eye contact and all that kind of stuff. And so anyways, because, you know, I told him that I was a Christian, and then he was like, you know, well, I'm a Muslim, and then he started talking like, do you know anything about Muslims, and da-da-da-da, and I was like, well, yeah, I know a little bit, you know, I stayed with somebody that used to be Muslim in Spain, and I listened to Ravi Zacharias all the time, so I was like, I know a little bit, and so we started talking about religion, and I was like, alright, I got this. And so I just immediately started asking questions, and I started pouring in, I started explaining to him my faith, where I was, kind of part of my testimony, and as I started talking, just spitting things out, all of a sudden his demeanor changed. He started losing eye contact, kind of just staring down at the floor at his feet. He wasn't talking as much, and if he did, it was very just small little things. You know, when I asked him a question of, because he said he used to be a Christian and then converted to be a Muslim, and so when I asked him why, like, he couldn't give a direct answer. He was just like, you know, just a lot of things, just a lot of things. He's like, have you ever read the Quran? I was like, well, honestly, no, but he couldn't like give direct answers to the questions I was asking, and so I started building that dominance, you know, in the conversation. I was like, alright, like, I started to feel better, and by the end of the conversation, he was saying, like, things like, okay, you have me interested, you know, and he was like, I really hope that someday we'll meet again so that we can continue this conversation, because he's like, he's like, I can definitely tell that you are a devout Christian, and you definitely have me interested, because you're very different. And I was just like, you know, thank you, and all that kind of stuff. So even though still inside my heart was like racing, and I was just like, and of course this is the bus that we stay on the longest, and I just kept looking up like, oh my gosh, when are we getting off this bus? But, you know, I was praying at the same time, and so yeah, so I just prayed about him a lot afterwards, and, you know, if God wants us to meet up again and continue that conversation, then I have no doubt that it'll happen. But of course it was kind of a scary experience, but the Lord definitely protected me, and so I didn't need to be that scared though, because, like, you know, there's cameras all over the buses and like plenty of people around, so but just that initial, like, you know, somebody just comes and sits next to you that you don't know. It's kind of just like, especially when it's a guy and you're a girl in the city. But it was kind of like God was just showing me, like, you can do it. You don't have to just, you know, go out and minister to women because you feel more comfortable around them in the city. That, you know, if the Lord puts something in your path that makes you afraid, like, you can overcome it and be confident and show that dominance. So it was really cool. It was a cool experience. And yeah, so if you guys could just pray for him. His name is Muhammad. Yeah, so it was pretty cool. But so today was a restful day. Miss Lily was out hanging with friends. She just left me all day long. Now we'll just have to go watch Friends together for the rest of the evening. Can you do that one more time? Rewatch Friends every day.
Yeah.
It's the best show ever. And eat.
Got the whole box set, by the way.
Yes, they have every single season. So I don't need my Nick at Night anymore that shows season after season. I can have no commercials while watching Friends. And then eat, what are the $1 million cookies, or what is it?
What? Oh, Millionaire Shortbread.
Millionaire Shortbread. That's it. So,
Millionaire Cookies. What?
so I love you guys. I told you it was going to be a long video. Sorry, there's just a lot to pack in. But yeah, I love you all, and I will talk to you later. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Oh, perfect. Is that good? Perfect. Is that good?
Perfect.
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 No.
Dang it.